We're diving into Dead City Season 2, Episode 3. Welcome to Screens in Focus, the podcast where we talk about TV and movies. I'm Diana. Sam is here. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Oh my gosh, so much to talk about. First off, I want to give a shout out. We had a listener call in, leave us a voicemail. It was so great to get the message. And it was based on last week's question of the day, which was, what piece of music brings you happiness or puts you in the feels? And so they had brought up James Horner's Casper soundtrack and the music in there. And they explained how, what it meant to them. And they also brought up the Walking Dead premiere, the episode where Rick has to put down that bicycle walker and the music that plays in there. I actually went and listened to both of them, and I have the links in our show notes in case anybody wants to hear them. But, oh man, listening to the Casper one, I hadn't remembered because I haven't seen it for a long time, and it was really good. And I love hearing what other music impacts people. But the Walking Dead one, I was all welly, like my eyes are all welled up with tears because you think about everything that we've been through with the Walking Dead and just that, what it meant to Rick at that point. So it just really meant a lot. So I wanted to give a shout out to our caller, and I hope that she will call again. And she wanted to know our take on this episode. So I can't wait to dig in with you. But before we get to all of that, did you have any reactions or anything else that you wanted to bring out or reflections from last week?
I actually do. I'm actually really mad at myself in a joking way, of course, but I randomly was in my backyard talking with my husband about something, and it got us to talking about Mark Ruffalo, which then it led us to talk about Robert Downey Jr., which then ultimately it led us to the Avengers, and like a light bulb went off. The music to the Avengers gives me chills. Like the OG, the end, like, I mean, it's all the same, but like when you hear it in like Endgame, like I have chills just talking about it. And I don't know why I didn't think of that last week when talking about it, but yeah, there's something that when you hear it, it makes it seem like, yeah, I could do this, or like it's not so bad. Cause like you just think of like Cap, and it's just, people are gonna come in, and it makes it just, I don't know. It just hits me right in my heart.
Yes. And that's
before it's taken out.
Like in this episode. Yeah, we'll get to that. But I love that so much, Sam. And that's how I'm sure our listener felt. And that's how I feel. And that's how so many people feel. And it reminds us how important music is, how important movies and TVs are. I mean, sometimes they think, oh, you're just wasting your way watching televisions and shows, but I'm not. It makes me feel. It just really adds so much. It makes me think. It makes me appreciate people and other things and situations. It makes me think how someone else might feel, their perspective. So I feel like music, TV, movies, all of it really add to our life. That's how I take it. I'm not just sitting there vegging on the couch, just letting it go in and go out. No, I'm taking it in. And so
TV and music create community. I feel like The Walking Dead brought us closer together. And, I'm going to go into work. It's a job. But I'm like, oh, but you know what? Today is Monday. And what happened last night? The Walking Dead. And then I can talk to you about it.
Well, you sparked something else. See, this is why I love these conversations. But I do want to bring this up. So The Walking Dead, this whole community. So we have other podcaster friends, and that is Squawking Dead. And Squawking Dead has been a really big supporter of Screens in Focus, and in particular, Dave, who is there with Squawking Dead. But he was able to interview Logan Schmucker, who plays Victor.
That's awesome.
I saw that he was going to interview him, and it just came out Tuesday the 20th. which for us is today. And I was listening to it. I haven't finished it. I'm going to because I am so intrigued about hearing from Logan, who is just this incredible violinist and an actor. Listening to it is just really so great. So I really encourage anyone who wants to hear that to go check out Squawking Dead. You can look on YouTube or any podcast app and listen to their podcast. So they follow The Walking Dead and a lot of the same things that we do here. So it's really great. They've been great. So that would be just something to look forward to. And I love it. It's just so good. This community, that's why I was bringing this up, because I have become friends with them through The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. They commented one day on a post, and then we started a conversation, and then we just started talking more and more. And then we collaborated on Tales of the Walking Dead. We joined in on one of those. They're great people, great podcast. Check them out. All right, we are going to get to our question of the day, and then we're going to dig in. And so our question of the day today is, what animal do you wish had shown up at Central Park in this episode? All right, it's a fun one this time. Okay, we dug a little deep last week. This week, just something fun to think about. So Sam, think about it. Friends out there, think about it. And then we'll talk about it more later on. All right, so we're going to get into Hershel's headspace, Dama's manipulation, Maggie's crossroads, Negan's morality, and that new group of people, that new crew. All right, so let's start with Hershel and the Dama, because I don't know, I just feel like that was so huge in this episode. Do you think that Hershel is starting to believe the Dama, or is he just vulnerable and wanting some sort of connection?
I think it's a little bit of both, if I'm honest. I think he is young enough and impressionable enough that I think he believes her that, and I think he understands that, like, we're going to have to do some hard things means, like, we're going to probably have to harm some people, maybe, end some people. But I think he also believes that she's taken to him in a way that I think he thinks he can save his people. So even if it's like bad, it's not going to happen to him. I think he believes her because look at what she's been able to do with like New York just with the Croat. And they have crews and stuff, but I mean, she gets him to do all of like her dirty work. And I think Hershel and Maggie have spent a lot of the last a couple of years either moving constantly or been in a place like the Bricks, and which is, I mean, it's a roof over your head and you're safe. But you look at what she has in New York, and she built him a really, really cool freight elevator like apartment with $1 billion view. And I don't think he really understands that she's evil. I think he's also had to pretend the majority of his life because he has a really tragic backstory, and so do most other people. But I feel like Maggie wouldn't want him to talk about it, and so he probably has to like hide who he is a little bit, and that's kind of isolating. And this is the first time he's been able to like be himself and think for himself, and there's no, like, his mom's not like around the corner with like a consequence. But yeah, I don't know. I think he does believe her though. What about you?
Oh gosh. Yes, I think he believes her. I think she's just speaking to him, and it was so worrisome to me watching this. Like, it really affected me the way she was talking to him, because any of us who can see what she's doing, it pained me so much because I know that happens to people. And I think that's why it hurts so bad, because this happens to other people in just everyday life and all kinds of things that people can get to you by your vulnerabilities, knowing what can get to you, and that she's using it. And I saw her doing it, and it just was so aggravating to me. And I'm like, I didn't want him to believe her, because there are some people who wouldn't. Like, if that was Ginny, she probably wouldn't have believed him, because Ginny just reminds me of a person who is a little bit more instinctual. I think. I mean, I don't even know her that well. I just kind of get that from her, so far. I think when she told him, oh, you've been through so much, and the one person that should have been there for you wasn't. I just wanted to get her, because I'm like, you don't even know what Maggie has done, and you're discounting everything that she has been as a mother. And oh my gosh, so it really, really got to me. And I thought it was painful to watch. And what went through my mind was, we need Glenn. Why isn't he here to be his father and just shake him? I wish he could just talk from his grave or the heavens or wherever Glenn is at and just tell his son something, just shake him up.
Yeah.
I really wish that he could somehow, which is interesting because he does have the loss of a father figure. And I thought it's interesting that it's a woman that has this power over him, because he has a mom and Maggie loves him. Yeah, maybe she's not meeting every need he has as a kid that he sees, but she loves him. She's there. I don't know, it's just
Yeah, but I bet
interesting.
you he thinks that like Maggie being his mom comes with like strings almost, because he has to like listen to her and he has to be good and he has to do these things. And if he doesn't, maybe he feels like and maybe the Dama is just kind of like allowing him to just be Hershel. And it's the first time. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question though.
Well, and I like that you brought that up, because it made me think also Maggie is approaching her son in a different way, because I think with her, it's always about survival.
Mhm.
They don't get to just sit and talk about whatever, it's like,
Art.
yeah,
Yeah.
about art or anything that's just regular every day, right? Because it's always like, yeah, we got to survive today. We have to move forward. We have to do this. It's always about surviving. And I think with the Dama, she's living in this building that has no one coming in, and she's able to have people, like you said, make this room and have all this stuff and talk the talk. And here's a pencil for so you can draw. And what made you draw that? She's so interested in him. And that's just sparking something in him. But again, it's that manipulation. It's that grooming that she's doing.
Mhm.
It's not that Maggie doesn't want to do that or is lacking in that. Is Maggie's doing the survival. I mean, she's got to survive and have her kids survive. And he will realize that later on. It's just like, how long is it going to take and how much is going to happen before that occurs? And he realizes it. I was reading an article where he was interviewed, the actor who plays Hershel. And he was saying, like, Hershel's a little bit not far gone, but like he didn't even really agree with how he was reacting to his mom. Like, but he has to do the role. So that's what he was doing. So it was nice to hear
Mhm.
that even for him, he felt like, Hershel needs to reel it in just a little bit. I think the last thing I just wanted to say about the Dama was I feel like this exposes the danger of charisma from the wrong people. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
But I feel like her charisma only works on like a certain kind of person. Because, like, Negan, masses would follow him. I don't think the masses would follow her, which is why she has the Croat and all. Well, I guess it's just him. But
Well, since you brought that up, I did question that and I wondered, why are people so easily following her? Like, what is she commanding? What is she conveying? What power does she have? Is it having
mhm,
the Croat behind her? Like, what is it, her vision? Does she have vision that we haven't seen everything that she has said yet? I mean, I know the Croat talked about, she has she has a way of saving people.
mhm.
And when she saves them, that is when they're indebted to her or
Yep.
feel indebted to her.
Yeah, she looks for the type of person that, like, is lost and needs direction almost, or needs just something.
Yeah.
It's a good character, though.
Yeah. All right. So Maggie, since we're already talking about her, she's at this crossroads. She has Hershel, Negan, and Pearlie. And I feel like they're all tugging at her in a way, somehow, in with different perspectives or different directions. It's either trust or guilt or survival. I mean, I guess what stood out to you the most about Maggie in this episode?
I guess it was just the fact that she was being pulled in that many different directions because I feel like my heart just goes out to her. No matter what she does, she's got somebody on her butt being like, what about that? Or no, let's do this. Or they're going to fight her. And she's just trying to do what's best for everybody. And they're just like they won't get out of their own way. It's just everybody's ego. Um, but I will say it's nice because we did see Pearlie actually he listened to her and not like allowing Nervias to bother the feral folk
Yeah.
during their little thing. And it was nice. He did she had to ask him again to trust her or something, I think. And then he did it, but it was nice that he finally stood up to her and just pulled rank. And that was the only way for her to really understand it, I think. And for Negan, I don't know, man. He's the most conflicting, I think. Um, I think he's doing things to show us that he's a changed man, but it's really hard to forgive all the trauma he's inflicted on her. And it makes me wonder, is she ready to see those things and actually let go of that and move forward? I know she told him that she wouldn't be able to do that, but that was also a year ago and things are different and
Yeah.
she's different. So who knows? I just feel so bad for her.
I do too. I'm reflecting on everything that you said. I'm trying to think. So with Hershel, here she is trying to build this trust back with him. And I think she's really trying. Like, I feel like every time he kind of, says something to her, she's really watching out to see what he's doing and trying to figure out how to approach him. And that's just like a parent, right? You're like, do I say something? Do I not say something? Do I say something here? How do I say it? And like when he did bring up Negan, when he brought up, and Negan was there and she saw Negan, she starts barking all these questions at him, which seemed so realistic because if something like that has already gnawed at you and then you blurt it all out and then Hershel comes back at her and it's basically, right, that's all you ever think about. And she's like, holy crap, you're right. I get it. But at least she's
Mhm.
absorbing it, right? She didn't come back at him and that was it. No, she's like, oh, I see. I see what I'm doing because as parents, you do that. You're like, oh, shoot, I should have bit my lip there. I didn't. I reacted. Let me step back and figure it out. And so I see Maggie really trying. And so I just hope that she gets credit from Hershel for that. And I also think with Negan, I think maybe that is going to be the key is Hershel.
Mhm.
I feel like, and we're going to move into Negan in just a moment, but I feel like that might be a turning point. I think Negan might be the key, believe that or not. And I think I kind of said it last week too. And I see us inching just a little bit closer to that.
Mhm.
So I don't know. She's just being totally tested as a mom, as a leader, as a survivor. So with Negan, where do you feel like he lands morally right now?
I feel like he's just trying to I don't even think Negan knows where he stands morally right now. I feel like he's just trying to do everything he can to make sure he's safe and his family's safe. And I feel like he kills Waylon, but Waylon killed Joan or June. I
Yeah,
think it was Joan.
I
Was
don't
it
know her
Joan?
name. I don't remember her
Mm.
name, unfortunately. Yeah, that
Um, that poor that
I
that
know.
poor oh the story of them being in fourth grade on a field trip just breaks my heart. But anyway, he kills her, and he probably would have killed Hershel if Negan hadn't have done a thing. So I feel like morally, it's not the it's like, but you know,
Morally in
I
an
don't know.
apocalypse, okay?
I know. I feel like that if anyone's listening and they're not watching and they just hear me going,
I know.
but I feel bad for Negan. I think him being where he is has got to be extremely tough because he was a changed person, I think. I don't think he was the Negan that that we knew. And having to bring that back up is probably really traumatizing and makes him probably remember some of the people he killed and probably one person in particular. And it's just not good. And I feel bad. What about you?
Well, I'm trying to think about all his relationships. So there's the Croat, and I actually did like hearing a little bit more of the backstory. I felt like the Croat gave some backstory as to him and the Dama and why, because he says she's treating you like a redheaded stepchild. Like, what is it? And
Hmm.
that's where we learn what the Dama, I guess, means to him, what she did for him. So that just feeds a little more into who she is and what she does. But with the Crow, it's a little bit hard to understand how he thinks about Negan, because at the end, when Negan comes back with blood on his hands, and he did say
Hmm.
earlier, you're going to have to get blood on your hands. Like the Dama's thinking you're turning a little weak, but I know the Negan is still in there, right? He tells him. And then when he says, "Oh, let me go look for them," and he says, "Oh, send Waylon." Was that his name? Waylon with you. And then that happens. I thought, okay, so did the Croat not intend for that to happen, but was he like, "Oh, look, you're really Negan?" Or was he more like, "Oh, I don't know if I can trust you when you killed one of our people." I kind of feel like it's the former. Like, I don't know, because he says, "Oh, accidents will happen." And he just kind of said it nonchalantly and gave him the towel to wipe off his hands.
Hmm.
So I don't know if he felt better about Negan at that point or not. I mean, it was kind of hard to know for sure. But yeah, like I said, with Maggie, I think he's going to be the key. I think he's going to be the one to get through to Hershel, to get Hershel away from the Dama somehow. I hope.
Yeah, like I feel like he's gonna like because the Dama's gonna talk crap about his mom, and Negan's gonna be like, "Are you serious?" And then he's gonna remind him about how amazing his mom is, and
Oh,
that's gonna start to like
yeah.
slowly like just get him away from her, maybe.
Because oh my God, that gives me like chills and kind of warms my heart, Sam, with you saying that. Because
I know.
can you imagine if he does do that, because he knows how much Maggie loves her son, and with what he did and everything, and it's just like if he could be the one to save Hershel and Maggie's their relationship, and to remind Hershel of what type of mother he really does have and how
Hmm.
valuable she is to him. Oh my gosh. Oh, you've just written it, Sam. You've written it.
I hope it. I hope it comes true.
I know. Wouldn't that be awesome? I love it. So it is true that Negan's complexity really throws into the question what is good and what is bad in this time. It's kind of like what you said about, what he's doing. But you're right. If he hadn't done what he did, then Herschel would be dead. And that poor girl, I didn't think
I
she was going
know.
to die. It's,
I was shocked she died.
yeah, me too. Okay. Okay.
Nope.
So let's go into the community check-in and talk about everybody else, this community that we found. And if you have about any of the other characters, you can bring that up here too.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the crew here at Central Park? Do you trust anyone? And what are your thoughts about all of this and all these people?
I thought the crew in Central Park, I liked how they, like, if you looked in the background of their little park area or whatever, you could see in the background that they had plants, like, that were doing, like, they were making their water clean. I don't know what that's called, but
Oh,
they
like
were using
purifying it?
kinda, but they were
Yes.
using, like, dirt and rocks and things like that that's, like, meant and
Ah,
I thought that that was really cool. I thought that the funeral thing that we went through
oh,
was very beautiful, but very, very weird at the same
yeah,
time. But
yeah.
I also thought if it brought them peace, fine. But I really wish that they didn't, like, add to the walker population in the park. I do appreciate though that it adds a little bit of like protection for them that
Yeah.
keeps the other people from like interfering with their like lifestyle. Kind of like how the Amish, I mean, they don't have like a walker thing, but they do protect their like lifestyle and stuff like that. And I kind of liked them. I don't know that I trust them, but I also thought it might be kind of funny that this woman is the big bad like broker or whatever they were talking about, and it's her. That might be kind of like fun because there's like one leader that they don't know who it is. And we thought it might have been Kim Coates, but I don't think it is. And there's one that's like a broker that isn't at the meetings and they haven't met him yet
Okay.
or met this person yet. And I feel like it would be kind of fun if the leader, I think her name was Roxana, I saw in
Oh, yeah.
in my
Uh-huh.
subtitles.
Uh-huh.
I thought it'd be fun if she was this like power broker or whatever. Because she lives like, such like a different like lifestyle from everyone else.
I feel like she doesn't want to be a part of them, though. But who knows?
Nope, but
Yeah,
that's why it'd be a fun twist.
it would be.
I don't like Narvaez at all. I think she's aggressive and honestly kind of like one note. And I wanted to be like, I want to shake her and be like, has nothing at all in the last 24 hours, can you think for yourself for once? Or are we just gonna, like keep on going? And I really hope that like as they progress throughout the episodes and the seasons, that she kind of does change a little bit.
Yeah. I want more
I
for
will be
her.
Yeah, I want her to meet Negan. I feel like he'll get like a look at her outfit and just make fun of her. Because that hair, although I will say her hair is like the worst, but it's the only like accurate, like, I feel like if you're in the apocalypse, I'm not having long hair. It's going to be short as can be so nothing can grab it. And I feel like so her
True.
hair at least is like that. I think that Negan doesn't trust that the Croat believes him.
Mm.
There was a lot of tension in the car.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. Yeah.
It was hard.
To
But I feel
decipher.
like, yeah, but I feel like the Croat doesn't really care that Waylon died. It's not about that. I think it depended on what he came back and said. And I feel like the Croat knows that those people didn't die. He probably has other people watching Negan. I don't know.
Could be.
But I just want him to be careful
I know.
moving forward.
I thought that the people were really cool. Cool idea. I liked them, but I thought, yeah, the whole heart thing, I'm like, this is weird, but okay. But everyone seemed to be okay with it. That was it. I mean, they seemed really affected, like this is odd, but we get it. This is something you
Yeah.
do and such. So I don't know. I really felt bad for the girl. I thought for a minute the girl she was looking at Hershel kind of like, I almost thought like she was interested in him for a moment. So I thought she was going to live and be a potential love interest or something. I don't know,
Hmm.
but that didn't happen. Yeah, even when he came and did the head thing with her and how she kind of reached up to touch him. So I don't know. Felt like it meant something to her, but then she ended up just being a walker. You know what was interesting when Maggie came out and watched them all and what they did, and none of them came toward her. They all took off. So I'm like,
I know.
that was interesting. Yeah. I just thought it's like, were they full? And they're like, oh,
Maybe.
let's just go hang out over here. We had this heart. We're good.
Although if she's been in like the Hudson or the Gowanus, that's like a river in New York, she probably doesn't smell like a human. So Hudson's gross.
So, and with Pearly, I feel like he's not really making great decisions. Like, I feel like he's just middleman and he's just not being assertive enough in his own, into what he wants to do. I need more from him too. He needs to step it up.
He does, because I feel like he was great last year. Like,
Yeah.
he had a ton to do. His story was interesting. He talked about his brother.
Yes.
And then this year he just like lets Narvaez walk all over him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
And kind of Maggie too, but I mean, she's
yeah.
at least right.
Yeah, exactly. She is right. And she isn't walking all over him. She's more pleading her case to him. And then he makes a decision one way or the other. So, yeah. All right. So we are going to do a lightning round, gut reactions or favorite lines. Okay. So I'm going to call out a couple things. And Sam, I just want your whatever comes to mind. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
One thing that bothered you most.
Those stealth walkers in the park. I just think if you're going to be here for 20, it's like we're 15 years in the apocalypse and you're still getting surprised. Like the woman who got grabbed, it seemed like a surprise that, but the walker was right there. Like it was a shock that the walker was there, but she should have seen it.
I thought the same
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, okay, you've been living in this world for this long and you just let that happen. Okay, so it's funny that you said that because you know what bothered me was the walkers in that tunnel bush that got Negan and Waylon. Why would
Hmm.
they die in the bushes? Like, how would they have gotten there? It makes no sense
So
that live people would be in there. Or am I missing
maybe the
something?
feral. No, I thought maybe the feral people like put that there as like a protection,
That
but
would be a
also
good
not.
idea because I can't think of any other reason they would be there. I almost felt it was like, oh, let's have walkers grab at them without thinking, how did the walkers get there? Right. But
Yep.
it would make sense if you're right, if they put them there so people wouldn't come. That makes perfect sense. And I like that so much better. All right. What is one thing that fascinated you?
A heart thing? I don't know. I just
Ooh.
want to know why. What, like, how did it get started? Why do you feed the walkers the heart? Why are you moaning? It reminded me a lot of the movie Midsummer
Uh,
because there's a scene, it's a whole thing. It's gross and disturbing, but there's a moaning scene where there's a bunch of women who are moaning with Florence Pugh, and it's very like emotional, and that's what it reminded me of. But yeah, I just want to know like more of it because there was a walker on in the vines or someplace that like it's clearly been a walker for a long time, but the heart hole was fresh.
yeah.
And I don't know, like, and they like focused on it, so it must be a point of something. Maybe we'll find out. I hope so.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. What fascinated me is
Hmm.
that damn Dama and her manipulation. It fascinated me in like a terrible way. Like I was just so fascinated as to how she can just grip people the way she does because I don't like it at all. How people are so easily swayed her way. It hurts and that's why it fascinates me. All right, what was your favorite shot or a quote?
I really enjoyed the freight elevator like reveal. I'm a sucker for like a room that kind of like looks like a study. So it was like already really pretty. And then it's revealed that it's like I don't know what freight elevator is on the side of that, but maybe it's a hotel or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just really, really cool, and I thought it was really neat. What about you?
That is really cool. It is really neat. And I would say that too, because that's very cool. But I also did like the tall grass, even though I didn't think it was smart for
Oh,
them to spread out the way they did. I felt like they should have gone one at it, like one after another. I mean, come on, you follow each other in a row wherever you're going. The first person leads, the next person goes, because you know that's safe, right? Why would you go
mhm.
all out? But I love the visuals of that. So I thought the visuals were cool. Thought the visuals of a lot of New York and the Central Park were very cool. Like you said, that freight elevator. And the one line that I want to bring up that was kind of funny in a bad way is when the Croat tells Negan, I know you have a soft spot for children. So when we meet up with that child, don't worry. You don't have to do anything. We'll kill him for you. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious?
Oh, so gross.
Oh, don't worry. We'll take care of
Don't
it
do
for
it.
you. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, you guys are so bad.
The one thing about the tall grass scene that was kind of, I guess, bothered me more than anything was there was that guy who I f- I think it was Maggie who was like, if we just stay still, we don't move, we'll be okay. Like it's like just be quiet. And he's like,
Oh,
and takes off running. Dude, you're 20 years in this apocalypse and you don't know how to chill. Like I've never been in that situation, so I'm gonna freak out.
okay.
Yeah.
So any callbacks to OG The Walking Dead?
Not that I caught. Did you catch something?
I was just thinking how this group of people have been similar to different types of people that we've seen, not exactly the same way, but like even the Whispers, they were an
Mm-hmm.
odd bunch. So remember when Connie went into that house and she was with all those
Do I?
people? That was
Yeah.
a strange house full of people. Ferals, right? Ferals, which is the
Yeah.
term you
It's like
used
the
earlier. So yeah, so I see these little pieces. Does that spark anything for you?
I actually feel bad calling them the ferals, but
Oh, true.
um I
They're
had
they're
actually
good people.
seen they are good people.
Yeah,
So I didn't catch this on well, we actually don't know if they're good people. We don't know them too well. But
that's true
I didn't
too.
actually I didn't actually catch anything on my watches, but I looked it up and apparently there is a door that Negan walks up to that is close to don't because in the original Walking Dead there's a door that says it's supposed to say don't open dead
Yeah,
inside, but the
yeah,
way it's written it says don't dead open inside, I
yeah.
think. So I think that there was a nod to that in this episode.
I have to go back and watch again and go look that up again.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right about not calling these people ferals because
Well,
this group of people are a functioning group of people who are very, it's just they have their own way of living that's working for them and they've survived this long. And oh, there is one thing I do want to say about them. I liked how she said, these people are all of us. They're all, they're
mhm,
our children and our parents and our friends and our neighbors, and we're going to be with them someday. And I'm like, oh, she's
mhm.
so right. Everybody's going
She's
to die.
absolutely right.
Yeah, everybody's going to
Yep.
die. So you're all going to be there at some point. So yeah, so a lot of credit to this community. And yeah, we don't know truly if they're good or bad, but they seemed okay so far. So we'll see if they,
They
yeah, even play a part in the future. What were you going to say?
they at least like allowed them to like take like they were okay and they opened up their like house to them essentially. They were like,
Yes,
come
yes.
on in, like we'll figure you out. So they're at least like decent, I think,
Yeah.
for right now.
All right. Good conversation here, but I want to get back to our question of the day. So, Sam, what animal do you wish you had seen in Central Park?
Now, do you mean like I'm happy to see it or like it's like terrifying?
Either
Can
one,
I have
both,
one? Okay.
one of
So I
each.
feel like I feel like I would like to see like maybe like a meerkat or something cute and like fuzzy that like, one meerkat's not scary. A bunch of meerkats like could like overwhelm you. I don't want to see like a bear or a lion, just anything that's like big, but that I think is just anywhere. I wouldn't want to see a bear or a lion like outside. But who knows? They've been in like the park for how long, so they're probably like extra like feral, extra terrifying, I think.
Doesn't have teeth. That's what I would pick. What about a turtle?
Oh, unless it's like a snapping turtle.
And what I wouldn't want to see is a damn dinosaur of any sort.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like there's gonna be like a T-Rex coming at them.
No T-Rex, they'd eat you anyway. So what difference would it make, right? Whether it's
Yeah.
a zombie or not. No, really, honestly, an animal. A bear would be pretty terrifying. Everything fast, right? Anything a jaguar or, anything like that, that'd be pretty
Mm-mm.
scary. I don't know. Any animal, right? But you know what I would just want to see in general? Like no zombie at all would be anything like a monkey or a gorilla. I don't know. I just, but not zombified, just a regular one. Maybe one that would help me. Maybe they would help. Can you imagine a gorilla like trying to defend people? I like it.
Oh, I feel like you can get into that. Like, there's that debate. It's like 100
Oh,
men versus one gorilla.
yes. True. That's so true.
My money is my money's on the gorilla. If you're a man who's going to sign up to fight one, go off.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, friends out there, what do you think? what animal would you want to see in Central Park? Or would you not want to see? Which one would scare the heck out of you? And you're like, I'm out of here. Let us know. You can comment wherever you're watching us, or you can go to our social media and comment there. You can get to all of those in our show notes, which is on our website at screensinfocus.com. And you can even call us at 669-223 8542. And also, if you don't want to answer that, you want to just let us know anything that we've talked about in this episode, we would love to hear it. Also, your feedback on this episode or what you're anticipating for the next episode. All right. I think we finished episode 3. We can't wait for episode 4. I'm excited to see what happens. So come back next week. We are going to switch gears now and go into our TV and movie recommendations. And we're going to touch lightly on The Last of Us, even though it had a pivotal episode, because we're going to have a bonus episode coming out next week. After the finale, we'll have a bonus episode talking about The Last of Us because this season has been so good. But Sam, just give me your quick reactions to the latest episode.
I don't have any. It was lovely to see Pedro back. It was heartbreaking to see him back. I loved it. I think Catherine O'Hara is a queen. I'm upset that we only got to see Joey Pantaleone once, like very briefly, but because I wanted to see him as Eugene and just like flesh out that character because he seems so interesting. It was so good.
I bawled my eyes out. I kept thinking that previous episodes were really like heartbreaking and heart-wrenching. This one was all the more, without giving anything away. I was like, it's just wrecked me. And I think that the writing is just so good. Everybody in it, all the performances, every single one of them was so good. And yeah, I would highly recommend anybody go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. And tune in next week to when we discuss it further, a little more in depth without giving spoilers, or we'll give spoilers then. So really good. Also, Handmaid's Tale. It's been really good. And last week's episode, I haven't seen this week's. I think it's coming out today. Is it?
I watched it this morning.
Don't tell me.
So good. It's so good. You have to watch it. Diana, you have to text me after you watch it because I can't. We'll talk about it next week too.
Yeah. But Handmaid's Tale in general. Now I know season 6 hasn't been living up to a lot of people's, what they wanted, what they, been this long ride to, but it's still been good. I'm still liking it. And so, yeah, I have a lot of feelings about it. So I can't wait to see what happens in this episode. So, wow.
I think we only have one more episode of that too, I think. I think we get the finale next week.
Oh, everything's ending. Oh my gosh.
I know.
All right. So with everything ending, we do have a few recommendations for everybody, right? So what do you have to share, Sam?
I've been watching on Hulu. It's The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I don't really watch reality TV. I truly don't. My recommendations are things like The Last of Us and other things. And I don't know what's got me gripped about these Mormon wives, but I'd text my friends about it. It's just their day-to-day life. They're on TikTok, which is insane for the Mormon religion, and they're blurring lines. And this season was so explosive, so bonkers. But really why I think I ultimately really enjoyed it is because most of the time, this season notwithstanding, they support each other. And it's really the women supporting other women around them. And it's really nice. They fight a lot, which I guess is just a reality of TV, but it was bonkers, but so good. And then I also watched American Manhunt for Osama bin Laden, which is on Netflix. It's only 3 episodes. They're 45 minutes, and then the last one's over an hour. It was fascinating. I grew up during 9/11, but I was young. I was 11 when that happened, so I don't really remember any of it. And so it was nice to not nice, God no, but it was educational.
Yes, yeah.
If that can even be said. And it was just interesting, but it also hearing the people on the in the documentary just talk about like their jobs. It made me feel very patriotic, and I'm not a very patriotic person. I was like, America.
Yeah.
But it's really, really good. There's like, it's like a series. It's not all of Osama bin Laden, but it'll be like American Manhunt. Like they did the Boston bombing, I think. Might be the only ones, but they're really like, well, like they're really put together.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like facts and stuff.
Nice.
And I haven't watched any movies, unfortunately, but I think we're gonna go see the Thunderbolts on Friday
Oh,
because
nice.
we're off work. So yeah, so we're gonna take
Yeah.
advantage of a matinee.
Nice.
Have you seen it?
No, I didn't get to, and we were going to, but I think it stopped playing in certain theaters already. So I think we would have to travel somewhere else to go see it. So no, I didn't get a chance to. What I did see is a new TV series called Duster. It's on Prime. It's with Josh Holloway, and it's a 70s crime drama. I liked it. One episode out, that's all. But I just love 70s vibe, and it's good. It's good. I like it. I can't wait to see more. I also watched the first 2 episodes, I think, of Murderbot, which is on
How is that?
Apple TV Plus. You know, it's interesting. I like it. I'm going to continue to watch it. I don't know how it'll be going forward, but I felt like the production value was so high. And it's about, for people who don't know, it is based on some books that I wasn't aware of, but it's this robot who is free thinking because he's figured out how to do that, but he has to pretend like he's not free thinking. And it's funny. It's funny, but it's interesting. So I like it so far. And it's Alexander Skarsgård. So yeah, very.
He's the reason he was the reason I was like, oh, okay, he's in that. Like, I'll watch
Exactly.
because I just love him and everything.
Exactly. Yes, that's how I was too. Now, we started watching The Last Kingdom on Netflix because my husband and I had just watched last year, going into this year, all the Vikings, and then we watched Vikings Valhalla. And so now we need something to take that place. So we're watching The Last Kingdom, and I like it. So it's fascinating to me to watch this. So it's a good watch. I like it. And then I started to watch Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV Plus with John Hamm because you had talked about it, and our baby selves recommended it.
Oh,
You know, our little baby. So funny. Anyway, if you're wondering what we're talking about, go look on YouTube or any of our social media. We have a clip of Sam giving her recommendation on this. But we're babies. We're babies. So, and I also watch Nona's on Netflix with Vince Vaughn. It's a biographical movie about a man missing his mom and just wanting to recreate the food that she did. And so he hires all these women, these mothers, grandmothers to cook. And it's just about, it's a heartwarming movie. So check that out. It's on Netflix. And then I am rewatching Mission Impossible Day of Reckoning Part 1 in, gearing up for Part 2. So I'm excited to watch it. So that I am watching this weekend. Yeah.
When's that come out?
It's coming out this week. Yeah, I'm excited. So, all right.
This will be like the final one. Like,
yes,
like Tom Cruise. He's not going to come back in 10 years.
Yes, I don't know.
I feel like 70s by then.
Okay, I could say so much about him because I was listening to him and the stunt. He was on Jimmy Fallon talking about the intricacies of his stunt work. It's mind-boggling what he does and can do. And I thought, oh my God, Tom, you're going to get yourself killed. I mean, no matter how good you are at what you do, accidents can happen, right? So I hope he just stays safe. That's all I got to say. They're just movies, man. Everybody else uses CGI or stays on the ground or whatever it is. So, I don't know. But I appreciate the work that he does put into it because it's really incredible. All right, friends out there, let us know if you're watching anything. We would love to hear those recommendations. Sam, I want to thank you for joining me today. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me again. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Anytime. I love when you're here to break everything down with me. It's so much fun. Friends out there, thank you. We are grateful that you tuned in. We hope we said something that gave you some insight, a chuckle, made you think. Remember to follow Screens in Focus at screensinfocus.com and keep watching, keep exploring, and keep those screens in focus. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.